Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good to see everybody. Miss Justice, number one. All right. Much love, PG. Much love to you, girl. God bless you. Good to see you. Miss Justice. Boy, she made a believer out of PG 2025. She made a believer out of PG. God bless her. All right. Number two. Carrie, how you doing tonight, sweetie? How you doing? Good to see you. Much love and prayers for hearts for summer. God bless you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Aw, hey, 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 beautiful PG Mods chat. Good to see you all. Much love. Got Carrie number two in there tonight. Girl, I tell you, you touching PG's heart tonight. God bless you. Okay, number three, Lisa. All right. Hey, PG. Um, Much love, beautiful lady. Much love to you. God bless you. Good to see you in here. Number three. Oh, in Australia, number four. There we go. Good to see you, girlfriend. Wait, I clicked on Carrie instead of Australia. PG, much love to you, girl. God bless you. And she said, Lisa T, hey, beautiful. Good to see you. I always like reading when you guys are so kind to one another. I'm like, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You know, it gives somebody hope that there's still beautiful people in this world, you know? So I love seeing that. You guys are so kind. Oh, Sherry, how you doing, sweetie? Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. And let's see. Don, good to see you, sweetie. That's beautiful. Purple hearts for summer. God bless you. And spread love. Hello, PG, and all you beautiful people. Hello to you, girl. Hello to you. Hello to your beautiful self. Amen. Um, Let me see. Hera, how you doing? He says, hope everyone is doing well tonight. Hey, girl, we hope you're doing good too. God bless you. Much love. And I always call her Iva. I'm not sure exactly, but that's what I call her. I call her Iva. Um, Evening, everyone. Evening to you, sweetie. Good to see you. God bless. Some people, some people in here just give them a different name, probably than their own. I just call them. I make them family. I just call them what I want. Right. Hey Tracy, good to see you, girl. Um, Good evening from Rhode Island. Hey, girl. God bless. God bless. I hear that place is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, that is amazing, Australia. That is beautiful. I love those hearts, prayers. Absolutely. Free way to support Summer's channel. Absolutely. You ain't hit that. If you ain't hit the thumbs up, please do. I always ask people, hey, Stephanie, I always ask people to hit the thumbs up, not because, you know, it does help the channel. It helps the children's channels out here. Yes, it does. But that ain't my reasoning. My reasoning to hit it is because I don't know. I believe if Lazarus could look down and see the rich man in Hades, then I believe that God, you know, and Jesus might let the children look down and see all of those thumbs up, you know, for the people working so hard to find them, to, you know, to help in any way they can to solve the case and get them found, brought home, and justice served for them, you know, or maybe God just lets them look down to see how many people, you know, really are good on earth, how many people really do love them. And you know, because these kids have, most of these kids, you know, I'm sure they put up with pure evilness, you know, and probably thought there was no good people in the world. And this is just a way that, you know, maybe God has to let them know, you know, there is really good people in the world. You know, sorry that they didn't have us around them, but there is really good people who love and do care down here for, you know, for all children, missing, not missing, every child on the earth. Let me keep moving. Granny's house. How you doing, sweetie? Good to see you tonight. I hope I don't. I hope I do not pass anyone up. I'm trying my best to get as many people as I can as we head to the bottom. Oh, Carrie, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Hello, welcome. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up for Summer's channel. Amen. Absolutely. Oh, Stephanie, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's been loves it. PG, PG, PG. It's PG time. Hey, Georgia Wild Child, good to see you. Marianne, good to see you, sweetie. Oh, Carrie says Georgia. Georgia, Georgia. PD gonna start singing the Georgia song. On a midnight train to Georgia. Hey, that's PG. I'm gonna be leaving on the midnight train. Hey, see how you doing tonight? Hello, everyone. Hello to you, sweetie. Good to see you in here. Linda said, hello, PG. Oh, Italian cookie. There you are, girl. Patty Ponytown, Leslie. There's Echo. No, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. But I'm sure law enforcement will be hearing it now. Right? I think I think it just got in the hands of law enforcement. Right? Minute it popped up there. Law enforcement. Yeah, they seen it. I'm PG. I just sent you 3 pics. Have a fast look. Um, been talking about. Hold on, I'll take a fast look. I got to go over here. Let me take a fasty looky. Oh wow. That's the same exact day that she went missing. Uh that's the same exact day she went missing. Hey Ann, how you doing, sweetie? God bless PG. Hey girl, God bless you guys. You guys are amazing. Bridget, how you doing? Hear from you tonight. I miss you coming on more often. Much love for you and Summer Wells, thank you for continuing to be Summer's angel. God bless you. Hey, girl, you guys are her angels as well. God bless you guys. Uh, Phoebe. Oh, super sticker. Hey, girl, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. You don't know how much. Amen. I really appreciate that. Hey, Carmen, I don't want to pass you up, girlfriend. Hey, Dartmouth, how you doing tonight? There's our Parker. I'm going as fast as I can, you guys. I just don't want to miss. I do not want to miss. Anybody. I'm trying to get everyone. Oh, that is beautiful Italian cookie. Okay, I'm making it to the bottom. Hey, Robin, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Good to see you. Diane, how you doing? Oh, butterfly kisses. I appreciate that. All right, super chat. I appreciate it. God bless. Absolutely. Let's see. Hey, Anna, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Good to see you. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Amen. Oh, I so appreciate it. She said I sent it early, so I know you would have it for Christmas. Hey, girl, I appreciate it. God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, absolutely, Carrie. We so appreciate it. Ah, crazy retired lady. I appreciate that. Super sticker. All right. Amen. God bless. I so appreciate that. Oh, wow. Italian cookie. I appreciate that. Another super sticker. All right. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, Robin. Hey, girlfriend. She says, hey, 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 Deputy Sheriff. Deputy, good to see you. God bless. Much love. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. She said, okay, girl, what's the tea? What is the tea? Oh, let me tell you, there's a whole lot of tea going on out there, right? A whole lot of tea going on. Like, for instance, last night, um, yeah, I didn't come in last night. I, I got busy, right? I got busy. I got a new husband. And, anyway, um, yeah. And, anyhow, I figured, I'll spend some time with him and hang out, right? I'm trying to work it all out, right? Trying to get my schedule situated somehow. But anyway, um, and then like, you know, he got interested in a show that I wasn't interested in, and then I was kind of like disappointed because it's like I could have been doing my life, I don't want to sit here and watch, some boring show. I mean, you gotta share an interest in shows if you're gonna watch them together. But that one just wasn't holding my interest at all. And anyway, you know, it was one of those wrestling, guy shows type thing, all kinds of action. I wasn't interested. But anyhow, yeah, I wanted to watch like Hallmark Christmas movies. Right? You don't want to do that. Um but anyway, yeah, oh, I appreciate that, Dreamcatcher. Absolutely. We appreciate it. Um but anyway, I decided, jump on the computer and just, surf, see who is on, and Jinkies. Jinkies was on. God bless her. But anyhow, she's on and she's talking and talking, and about that time, um, Australia, our mod, my mod Phoebe, she, she hits me up, and I'm like, "What's Jinkies talking about?" And she comes back, and you know, later, I don't know when she came back, but she said, you know, wait, which I hung in there to, to see exactly what she's talking about. And yeah, that's what she's talking about. PG, did you see where they have found over 50 some things over 50 some things missing children in Memphis, Tennessee the last few weeks? Remember who were close to Memphis? Hey, faith bigger than fear. Appreciate that. Super chat. No, I didn't. I knew they found. I knew they found a lot of children. I'm not talking about like a lot. I'm talking about like a lot, like a cluster of children. Not too long ago, up in that way. That was. And there's this one guy. I don't know if this is the same one you're talking about, but there's this one guy. He was like kind of like the ring of it all. Is that what the one you're talking about? Is it's like this one particular guy, real weirdo. But they rounded up quite a few. Oh yeah, I'm going to definitely check into it. I appreciate the heads up on that. Absolutely. I'm going to look into it. I know that there was one bunch that they went in and got a hold of, which was a bunch of adults, and they're still rounding up the adults in that. And then I know they went in right before that and got like a cluster of children as well. Not too far back before that that cluster with all them. But the first one was like this one particular weirdo that was was the head operator of it all. Hey, little PG, there you are, girlfriend. I was wondering where you was. I don't know. I don't know. Matter of fact, I was just updated on some body, it's not here in our country, but it's in a different country, actually different countries, where it was brought to my attention that um, they were doing stuff like that. In hotels, they like own and operate these hotels, and they have, and then they, I guess, they basically, people from different countries go there for that purpose alone. And I don't know, I heard this one guy had visited like over, like so many, not hundreds, like so many thousand times, over a course of an expansion of time. But I understand that now that the word is so far spread and there's so much awareness upon all of this, kind of stuff going on, a lot of it's getting shut down. And what they're doing now is they're backtracking, to see who these people, who their clients were. And if they can actually, if the clients weren't smart enough, to use cash money or untraceable ways of, paying for everything, and they could leak anything, any type of payments back to someone. I hear that it's, they're like now trying to, make money in other ways. So, but that's what them clients get for doing what they did, right? That's what they get. I hope they're able to track every last one of them, to be honest with you. That's my, yeah, track them all. They deserve to, to be called out, and if they don't want to cooperate. And that's what I hear is going on. But hey, little PG, all right, super chat. Much love, mama, prayers. Much love and prayers to you, girlfriend, and yours. You let that son-in-law know that we're still praying for him. Anyway, you guys bear with me because I'm going to tell the details. But yeah, but anyway, let's get back to Jinkies. She was on last night and she was talking about weight and stuff, and I was like, oh, who was saying something, because Day Day's been telling her, Big Mama, people just want to make fun of you and this and this. Day Day's been, like trying to get in Jinky's head about weight here recently. I don't know why. Put a one in the chat if you guys took notice of that, because I take notice of everything. I'm an observer, and I took note of that. I noticed that, she's been trying to, manipulate Jinkies with, the weight thing, over the last week or two, pretty heavy with it. And I don't know if it's because of her own weight, or if, or if she's just wanting to manipulate her sister with weight. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, she's doing it. And I thought, who would be, why is she, because she had to have hurt feelings to come out and talk so long upon one topic like that, So anyhow, I was listening to her, and then I found out that one of Day Day's demons keeps calling Jinkies um, wants to, um, one of Day Day's demons keeps calling Jinkies Porky. That's what she keeps calling her, Porky. And I think that's what, has Jinkies, upset. And I, I can't blame her for that. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. I've had many, 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 many friends, over my lifetime. And they come in all shapes and all sizes, right? All shapes and all sizes. And I'm going to tell you something. I have a lot of girlfriends who are, I guess, could be runway models. I have a lot of them that, that can't. That's true. That probably couldn't, you know. Um, and, you know, and I have a lot of them that, um, that weight bothers them. I have just as many girlfriends dealing with bulimia and that are bulimic and anorexic as I do girlfriends who are overweight. And I'm going to tell you something. It's, it what I tell them is be happy. Be happy. That's the main thing in life is to be happy. Stop stressing. Stop letting, society own your feelings. Quit letting the society out here own your feelings. You know, if you're happy with, how you look, if you feel good in how you look and everything, then don't let other people dictate, whether you lose weight or you gain weight or, you know, don't let other people dictate your life. You only got one life, and that life is to be lived, and it's to be lived happy. Eat, drink, and be merry. I'm going to tell you something. I have I have girlfriends that, you know, that have a lot of weight, and I'll tell you what, I have a damn good time with them. You know what? Their weight does not bother them. They laugh. They're happy. I mean, they are the jolliest people I've ever known. And I just adore spending time with them because they make me feel good inside. I make them feel good. We joke, we laugh, we don't give a damn what other people say. We don't allow people to own who we are or our feelings. You know, that's the only thing that a human can control. Only thing that you have in this life that you can actually control is your feelings. No one can make you feel any way that you do not allow. That's up to you. That's the one thing you choose. When someone says something ugly to you, you choose to either let it hurt you and bother you and get to you, or you choose to laugh at it and move on because you don't consider the source and don't even give a shit. That's, their ugliness, their hatred, whatever reason they're trying to make someone else feel bad is their problem. But it ain't going to be you today. So you just laugh at them, leave them holding the bag, and move on. Because, see, they want to, these people want to make you hold the bag. That's why they're mean to you. They want to own your feelings. They want to pass that bag to you. No, you're not going to pass your bag to me, bitch. You're going to hold on to that and you're going to endure it. Because I ain't even going to give you the time of day, about all of that shit. And that's the way a lot of my girlfriends are, you know. They don't care. None of us care. We dress how we want to dress. We look how we want to look. We do how we want to do, and that's it. We eat what we want to eat. You know, we're not vegetarians and vegans or any of that stuff, you know. Well, I mean, I don't think if your every hair on your head is counted, if every hair on your head is already numbered by God, you know, of how long you're going to live, then it doesn't matter what you eat. It doesn't matter, you know, what you do or anything else. You know, you're going to live until God calls you. So why not live happy? Why worry about everything? You know, I ain't going to do it. No, I mean, I used to be, you know, I used to have a lot of issues, you know, having to jog and watch, you know, watch everything and half the time not eat at all and you know, because I had real issues with everything. But man, I'm gonna tell you what, I kicked it to the curb. I kicked it to the curb, and I'm like, you know, I just ain't doing that no more. Life's too short. I want to kick back. I want to enjoy, you know, I want to enjoy life. I mean, it don't last that long, and I'm starting to realize that. And you know, it's more important to be spending time with the people around me and the ones I love and doing what I love. You know, you ain't got a whole lot of time um to enjoy, you know, all the different things in life, and food happens to be one of them. Food happens to be one of them. So I'm going to enjoy. And I don't care, you know, how little you are, how big you are. It doesn't matter. If you feel good, if you feel good and you feel healthy and you're able to get around and do what you want to do, hey baby, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Who cares? If people don't love you for who you are, the hell with them anyway. Right? The hell with them anyway. Who cares? But yeah, that was going on last night. They was talking about it. And you know, and poor Cherry, man, she's getting like the blunt end of everything, ain't she? She's getting the blunt end of everything right now. These people are really being mean to her. And and I don't know why. I don't even understand it. You know, Sherry hasn't ever done nothing to nobody. You know, she shared some stuff. She shared some stuff thinking that she had friends that, you know, trusting friends that she could confide in, only to find out she couldn't, right? They're a bunch of bitches that basically, you know, want to know your deepest, darkest secrets so they can bring them out later and hammer you down with them. Those kind of, you know, friends like that, baby, you don't need no enemies. That's the truth. I don't associate myself with, you know, run of the fucking mill demons like that. I just don't, you know, and I don't waste no time telling them I ain't got girlfriend, I ain't got shit for you, right? I don't like people that turn on other people. I don't like people that make other people feel bad. You know, you shouldn't do that. You know, this life serves up enough misery, pain, hell, and havoc, you know, as it is. It serves enough of that up, you know, in a lot of different ways. We don't need to be putting no more on each other. That's, you know, that's what I think. Oh yeah, Jinkies is boy, she's pretty. She's, you know, she's pretty, and so what? So what? You know, if she has some weight, who cares? Nobody cares. You know, beauty comes from the inside. The outside, I don't give a damn how beautiful you are. That beauty's going to fade. That beauty with time, beauty's going to fade. But I tell you what, the beauty on the inside, boy, that's what's going to continue to radiate on the outside. That is the glow that no one could ever steal. And if it's radiating, you know what? You're beautiful in the eyes of people anyhow, right? I mean, I'm going to tell you something. I love all my girlfriends. I love all my girlfriends. I don't care what they look like. I love them, you know. And we go out, we eat, we party, we dance, you know. And I'm going to tell you something. You should see my one girlfriend. You know, she's got some weight on her. But I'm going to tell you what, baby, she does a mean tango, right? She does a mean tango. I love her. I love her. She's just like, she's a beautiful, beautiful human being. Beautiful. And you know, yeah, I love to be around people, you know. I love to be around people who don't let other people own their feelings. I like to be around people who, you know, is comfortable with their self, because then they'll be comfortable with you. They love their self, they'll love you. You know, everything starts with us. Kindness, love, caring, sharing. You know, if you want the rest of the world, you know, to be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, well, you know what? You might want to start being that way yourself first. And, you know, and then it'll spread, right? It'll spread. If you're kind, you know, I've met up with some really mean, some real grumpy ass mean people in my life. Like, you know, they just mean as hell. And, you know, I bring the good out of them. You know, I don't sit there and argue with them. Like, you know, I meet some people and I tell them, have a good day. And they say, what's good about it? You know? And I tell them, well, you know, that twinkle in your eyes and that dimple in your, that dimple in your cheek when you smile, that's what's good about it. And you know, they'll still give me a little bit of push, you know, and I tell them, oh, you know, you want to play meanie. There ain't nothing mean about you. I can see that marshmallow. I can see that marshmallow sitting inside of you. I ain't got no marshmallow. Yes, you do. You wouldn't be so light on your feet if you didn't. And I'll tell you, before it's over, they're smiling. They're, you know, I ain't ever met nobody like you, you know. And I just try to make people's day, you know. I ain't trying to, I don't know what, you know, I don't know what they were cantankerous about, but, you know, you shouldn't leave them that way. You shouldn't leave them cantankerous. I mean, you could say, oh, hell with you and move on. But, you know, why leave a human in that situation? I just, you know, I just talk to them. And sometimes, you know, they'll open up and you know, tell me all their problems and you know how their life's been going and you know and so forth and so on and how they you know didn't mean to snap at me or you know whatever. But you know, at the end of it, I just got another friend, didn't I just got another friend, you know, and they got a friend too. And I think that's what this life's about. I think this life is about, you know, um, all of us trying to join as one. All of us, you know, um, lightening each other's load. You know, life can get heavy. Life can get heavy. And when you got somebody, you know, when you got somebody to just sit and talk with and maybe have a laugh or two. You know, a lot of people need a laugh. And believe it or not, some of you here, you know, many times, many times, um, there's stuff, you know, there's stuff bug on PG's mind, you know, there's stuff on my mind when I come in here. And, you know, I'm kind of depressed from, you know, from finding out some stuff, you know, researching and finding, you know, things out about these missing kids and things like that. And when you're dealing with this kind of stuff, it can easily, you know, get you in a depressed mood, right? It can get you down into a depressed mood. And sometimes I come in here, you know, with a lot of stuff weighing down on my mind with these kids and everything. And somebody in this chat will say something, you know, and make me laugh. I mean, just, you know, lighten my whole load, like brighten my whole evening, you know. And I am so grateful because I needed it. I look up and I say, Lord, I needed that. I needed that laugh tonight. You know, I thank God for it. And a lot of times, you know, people hit me through Facebook, the chat and so forth, you know, and brighten my day. You know, PG, I don't run around just having a great day every single day, you know. I ain't got the big Barbie mansion and the Barbie car and the big perfect life like, you know, Day wants to paint a picture of, you know. I'm carrying my Louis Vuitton pocketbooks and, you know, saying, hey, girlfriend, let's go for a ride. Let's go get a mocha, right? No. Sometimes, you know, my life ain't that great. Sometimes it's a choca-mocha, right? I ain't feeling no mochas, right? So it just is. You know, I don't want a latte. I don't want a mocha. I don't want anything. Right? I get depressed too. Like anyone else does. My life ain't always, you know, perfect. It ain't perfect. You know, it's like I don't get to, you know, I don't get to go shop in my girlfriend's trunks all the time, and they don't get to come shop in mine. We just have bad days like everybody else has bad days as well. We just try to make each other's days better. And that's what you guys do. And you know, you guys do not know how much I admire how you guys work together and take so much off of one another as well. And that's the way this world should be. That's the way it should be. You know, I love Jinkies. I do. I always thought that Daisy had a sweet sister, you know, a real sweet sister. I really did. And I thought to myself, boy, you know, if I had a little sister like that, I'd be hugging her. I'd be hugging her every day. I'd be hugging her and telling her, you know what? You're a blessing. You're a blessing. I always wanted a little sister. It's like people who have little sisters don't appreciate them, right? And the ones of us that would appreciate a little sister, we didn't have it. We didn't have them. And but man, I would have adored a little sister like Jinkies. I mean, you know, she's always got Day-Day's back. You know, she always had Day-Day's back. Day-Day didn't have hers. Day-Day didn't have her back. And I think that really hurted her. You know, it hurt her. I think Day-Day had a lot of jealousy, you know, build up a lot of jealousy and everything because, you know, Jinkies was the baby and mommy and daddy, you know, mommy and daddy always pets the baby, right? They always pet the baby. And, you know, and seems like the baby gets everything and so forth and so on. And, you know, and, my brother, I got a younger siblings, and, you know, and the thing is, you know, my younger, I'm on the tail end. There's like 2 brothers below me, but I wasn't jealous. I wasn't ever jealous because I always wanted to get my own. You know, they got everything, right? They seemed to get everything. I didn't seem to get nothing. You know, anytime they needed something, I don't care what it was, they got it. Um, I had to work. I had to work for everything I had, you know, even as a kid, even as a child, you know, I was um, mowing grass and cutting, you know, doing people's lawns. I was, you know, picking up, you know, spare change, you know. So when Benny says, you know, spare change, hell yeah, I seen a penny on the ground. I picked it up, not just because it had "In God We Trust" on it, you know, but I do pick it up because it had. Now, if I see money on the ground, I'll pick it up because it has "In God We Trust" on it, and it shouldn't be on the ground. But you know, I usually I usually give it, you know, give it to the store person, or um, give it to some child, or give it to somebody. I don't keep it, but I do pick it up because it says in God we trust, and it don't belong on the ground. But when I was a kid, I picked it up because I needed to keep it. I needed to save it. I needed to, you know, I needed to buy my some socks. I needed to buy, you know, some underclothes. I needed to buy some tops and some jeans. You know, I needed to buy stuff. When I was, you know, young and, you know, teenager, young adult, um, I needed to work. I needed to save, and I needed to buy my stuff because my parents, you know, they didn't buy me shit. It could be because they had so many other kids. It could be because, you know, they just didn't fucking like me. I don't know. The point being is, I had to work, and I wasn't jealous of any of my siblings because, you know, I like getting my stuff on my own. I didn't ask nobody for nothing. It was a nice sense of responsibility. You know, I was proud of myself. I was very proud of myself that I could do it, you know, that I could do it. And it makes you self efficient and not dependent on no one else, you know. So my siblings were lucky because I wasn't sitting around, you know, trying to you know, rechannel my aggression upon them. You know, I had no dislike. Matter of fact, I was very good to my siblings, very good to my siblings. My siblings did not know how to be good to PG, right? They had one hell of a beautiful sister who truly loved and cared about each and every one of them, go way out of my way to help her, you know, to please and appease them. And all I wanted in return was kindness, love, and respect. And I got none of it. They didn't, you know, they didn't love or respect. They expected. They expected me to do everything for them. There was no love. There was no respect. I didn't understand how fucking evil they was, you know, until, you know, later in life when I began to realize, you know, I was living I was living amongst a whole lot of demons, a bunch of selfish, self-seeking, horrible, ugly human beings that, you know, didn't care about nobody or anything but themselves. And it is what it is. You know, I guess better late than never, right? Better late than never. I always thought, you know, if I ever needed them, they'd be there, you know, only to find out they wasn't fucking ever there for nothing. You know, your family, your family is can be your worst enemy, you know. your family fuck you first before anyone else. But that's because, because they are around you and you can't see the forest for the trees. So sometimes you have to learn the hard way, right? But I have a beautiful family, a beautiful family on my husband's side. I have a beautiful, beautiful friends. I have a lot of beautiful people that, truly, truly care about PG, and I truly care about them. And I live a whole different life now, a whole different life. I ain't always walking through hell like I once did. I was born into hell, and I walked through hell for many, 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 many years, right? Many years. I walked through hell from birth, from birth, all the way through, even my young adulthood, trying to please and appease everyone that didn't give a fuck about me. Hard lesson to learn, but you learn it. That's why, why I tell people, don't let people own your feelings, and don't let people, talk shitty to you. Demand that they have respect for you. You are you're in control of how you allow people to treat you. If you don't like the way someone's treating you, speak up to them. Talk to them one time the way they talk to you, and tell them, you didn't like it, did you? Now, if you ever talk to me like that again, I won't be talking to you at all no more. Either you damn respect me or get out of my fucking life, because I have no room for this shit. And you'll see how fast you start getting respect. I used to let people, run their mouth any way they wanted to, and I didn't want to run my mouth on them the way they ran their mouth on me, because I knew how it felt. I knew how they were hurting me, and I loved them too much to hurt them like that. What I should have been thinking is, if I loved them so much not to want to talk back to them the way they talk to me, then why the hell ain't I understanding that they don't love me the way I love them? Why ain't I understanding that they don't give a shit about me, and I'm not, and I shouldn't be, wasting my time up on their ass, But see, that ain't the way good people's minds work. That ain't the way our minds work. When we're, good God-fearing Christian people, our minds don't work that way. Our mind only goes one direction. All we think of is we love them, we don't want to hurt them, and we keep allowing them to hurt us because we don't know no better. We don't realize that it's lack of respect. We don't realize that, we're allowing this, and we we don't have to. That we actually have control, not to allow this shit to go on. So exactly, no one should be disrespecting you, and you are teaching people how to treat you by your demands. If you demand to be respected, you'll get respect. But if you don't demand it, people will walk all over you, and they will treat you like trash. And and you can blame no one but yourself. I couldn't blame anybody but me for being so stupid, you know, for being so stupid to worry about their feelings when they wasn't giving a shit about mine. I couldn't blame no one but me. I don't have a problem accepting self-blame. You know, I have no problem with that. I had to accept self-blame my whole life. You know, my whole damn life. And I thank God. I thank God, that I thank God that I wasn't a golden child, right? I thank God that, I was treated different than the rest of them demon siblings of mine, because they didn't have to take self-blame. My parents would always, if one of my siblings got in trouble, well, it's the bad people they're hanging with. It's that teacher, or is that, that neighbor kid, or is that girlfriend, or is that, person they married. It was always somebody else. Man, you let my ass get in trouble, and it was mother effing me. That teacher's right. You know, um, I'm an idiot, and you know, don't that person I'm hanging with. Oh, they were the good one. I was the shitty one. You know, um, is all back on PG. So I didn't get that protection. I didn't get that good protection. Um, you know, from from my parents, like my siblings did. I don't know why. I often thought that, I often looked around, wondered, if I even belonged to these damn people. Right? I often wondered, where the hell did you get me? I ain't nothing like y'all. But it was one hell of a life. One hell of a life, you guys. Oh yeah, I should have been, yes, just like Summer. Just like Summer. Absolutely. I should have been treated better. I should have been treated just like the rest of the children, right? Nobody should have been, I shouldn't have been, being used and abused and, and singled out and done like I was done. Absolutely not. I shouldn't have. It was no fault of mine. I understand that, now. I understand that now. You don't understand that as a kid. As a kid, you're wondering what's wrong with you. You're wondering, am I ugly? Am I really stupid? Like, they're calling me. Am I really, all of these things they're saying? Do I really deserve to be abused and, used and abused like this? You know, you you don't look at them, you look at yourself. And, it makes the child, withdrawed. You withdraw, you think everybody looks at you that way, and and you think nobody likes you because your own family don't, and it's a tragic, a horrible, tragic life. It's you just you have a hard time, existing existing in the world when you're that, abused. No child should ever, have to walk through hell like that. But a lot of children do, because, they got uneducated people surrounding them. It's lack of education. Um, they put me when I was a teenager. I was a teenager. They put me through a series of x-rays from head to toe. I'm going to tell you what, the doctor who looked over it all, his ass went up in the air. Like his ass went up in the air. He was all over my parents. All over my parents. You know, letting them know. Wanting to know why I had sustained so many injuries that was not ever addressed or taken care of. So many injuries that healed on their own. Yeah. I mean, he was very, very loud. Very loud. I could hear him. And I also could, you know, I felt sorry for my parents because he was really getting ugly with them. And I started hollering for my dad. I started hollering for him. So the doctor would stop going at him the way he was. I did not want, see, children love their parents no matter what. Abused children, they love their family no matter what. And, you know, they don't know better. They don't know no better, right? Children know no better. I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see that. So I wanted to get my parents out of that conversation. And I did. I did. But it is what it is, you know. You walk through hell and you learn so much. You learn so much from walking through that hell, you know. And you learn what real family is. You know, you at some point you learn who your real family is. My family is not those siblings and them that my parents had. That wasn't my family. My family is everyone who is part of the body of Christ. My family is everyone who believes in God and Jesus Christ and walks the right path and knows how to treat another human being. They know how to do unto others as they want done unto them. That's my family. I have no other family on this earth. Just the ones who are going to be in heaven, living forever, along with myself. The ones that knew how to treat one another while they were here on this earth. That's it. That's my family. Took me a while to figure all of that out, but I thank God, you know, with his help, I did. Amen. That's right, Australia. I got all you guys too. And I thank God for you every day. Trust and believe that. I really do. I thank God for all of y'all. But anyway, I just don't know why Day Day would be so mean to her sister. You know, she's building a lot of hatred, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of stuff is up inside of Jinkies that's, you know, that's going to overflow with tears one day. She's going to make her sister, she's going to make her little sister cry. That's what she's going to do. One day she's going to make Jinkies, if she ain't already, she's going to make that girl sit in a corner and just bawl. because of all the abuse she's been sustaining from a person she loves and just wanted love to flow back from. You know, that's all you want from your family. You don't want nothing else. You just want to hear them say, hey, I love you. You know, I love you and I always will. That's all you want to hear. Nothing more, nothing less. You don't want their damn money. You don't want anything other than their kindness, their love, and their respect. You just want them. You just want them to be there. You know, you just want them to be there the way that you're there for them, right? You just, you know, when they need to lean on you, you're there for them, and it makes them feel good. Well, they should be there for you too. They should always be there for you, and they shouldn't ever let anyone use or abuse you. They shouldn't abuse you or allow anyone else to abuse you. Trust and believe it. If Jinky's my little sister, I tell you what, those people running their mouth, they could eat crap. They could eat crap, right? She done that before, PG. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, I remember when Day Day first was coming sideways at me. Jinkies would try to come over here. She tried to come over to be the peacemaker, and Day Day would get on her. Day Day would get on her, and then she'd have, you know, because then she'd have to try to be mean. Then she'd have to try to be mean to please Day Day. And, you know, and she wasn't giving me any choice, but, you know, but to dislike her like I do her sister, right? She's giving me no choice. But, I always liked Jinkies. You know, she thought I always liked Day Day the best, but, you know, I always liked her. I always thought Day Day had a beautiful little sister. I kind of wish I would have had one too. You don't know what you got until you lose them, right? You don't know what you have until you lose it. Anyway, I was doing research. Listen to this, you guys. I was doing research, and this is what I found. I'm going to run everybody through this. This is June 15th, 2021. June 15th, 2021. This covers, you know, we're going to go back a couple of days before on the 12th. There's Summer looking sick. They send this little girl home, that's Summer's little friend. They send her home. Actually, Grandis takes her home. You've got Don and Candace, who on the 14th, Don starts driving Candace's car. He goes to work. He fires his co-worker to blame everything on. You could tell that what happened to Summer was actually set up by Don driving the different vehicle for Starlink and firing his co-worker to blame everything on. I mean, why would he have to fire his co-worker to blame his missing daughter on if his daughter wasn't going to be missing on the 15th? Why would he need to do that? Why would he need Starlink? Why would he need an extra alibi if he didn't know that his daughter was going to disappear? Don knew. And Candace, the morning they take him to the swimming hole, use Grandis's knee to go into Kingsport to pick up Hunter. They planned on going to that swimming hole. That's why the boys were at home. They went there. They got, in my opinion, they got Hunter to, you know, do an evil deed for them while they were there. They, you know, they cleaned this little girl up at Allison's house, put her in an outfit, take a picture close to home so that, you know, they can pull the abduction bullshit when this child wasn't even alive on those milk jugs, right? That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. But there's no way in hell someone came up on that hill because, as you can see in the picture right there, Brandis and Candace was right up on the hill at the trailer where they could see everything. They were both outside. You know, they were both outside. I just want to take you back a little bit. These three were besties. These three right here was besties. You know, I think Jose might have thrown a monkey wrench in that friendship for a second. But I think once he was gone, that friendship rekindled itself because people like this don't hold that much hate, you know, over one night stand. But, you know, this boy would do anything for Candace because, you know, his mommy allowed a predator to get too damn close to her son. And in my opinion, that's exactly what Candace was. Why did Allison hide the cameras on June 15th? Why did she hide the cameras? I'll tell you why she hid the cameras. Because that's where they took Summer, dressed her, and, you know, washed her clothes up. And those cameras would have been very damning to Allison and her son had law enforcement got a hold of it. Now, I don't know why law enforcement didn't take Allison's phone because I would have asked for Allison's phone as well since they came to her house. I just said, we need your phone, your son's phone. We need, you know, we need to check your house just like we're checking their house because, you know, you're too close to the case. If you got a problem with it, then we'll have to get a, you know, get a search warrant and do what we need to do. But I would have definitely searched her place along with the Wells. Right here you can see Candace and Grandis, dogs and puppies. Nobody's coming up there. You know, that was a staged video close to the house with that, in my opinion, online child in the back seat. And I believe it's law enforcement's opinion too. Uh, in order to try to cry wolf, you know, abduction. And they even had a neighbor. They even had the neighbor here lie about a fake ass scream. Lie about a fake ass scream, which was an hour off from where they needed it. And they did ask her to change it and she wouldn't. But, you know, right here is your caulker. She was down at Fred's house that day. You've got Andy telling, you know, I think she's in Morrison Cemetery. I'm not scared to say it. I think she's there too. I think she's there too. That's my opinion. Just this year, 2025, they had a vigil. They had a Don Wells called it a something for Summer. Anyway, the point being is they, you know, they showed the lights around the swing. What they didn't show you was the dollar store flowers they had put on Timothy's grave. Why would Don and Candace put flowers over on Timothy's grave? Why would they sneak over there and put flowers on this man's grave if Summer ain't there? That's my question. And why wasn't law enforcement up there taking these flowers and fucking fingerprinting them? That right there would have told Don and Candace put them on there. But does law enforcement really want to find this little girl? I don't think so. There's something fucking up with that. Now, this guy right here, Jason. This guy right here, the funny thing about this guy is him and Cotton Simpson were pretty much on alive the exact same way. Kind of like Allison and Leslie, right? Kind of like Allison and Leslie. And the family they didn't, they're going to have a graveside service in 2019, and this guy actually passed away. He actually passed it away in like 20. In like 2016, like way before it took them a long time to find this man, which is, which is really weird because he's laying right out in the field, close to his own place. Then we got this guy here who passes away immediately after summer. Immediately after summer, he passes away. And then we have Fred's dad pass away right after this. We got this guy, and then this guy right after that, and it don't stop. This is going to be a wagon train, so just sit back and watch. Then we have Fred's dad, who passed away. And then we have this guy that passed away right after Fred's dad. And then we have this guy passed away right after Kenneth, which is Marlene's dad. And then we have this girl right here who saved. This is the girl who took a child, another little girl, tried to take it to the grandparents because she didn't want it being done the way children were being done up there. And she got in a bunch of trouble. She got a bunch of trouble for trying to save a child by law enforcement, right? By law enforcement. And then she ends up dead. Yeah. And then right after her, Jose ends up dead after she does. And then this guy, Jerry, ends up passed away after Jose. And then Leslie ends up passed away after Jerry. And then Cotton Simpson, well, actually his mother, and then Cotton's mother passed away 1 month before Cotton did. And then Fred Hill's mother, she passes away. And this is old Mr. Goad's sister, who was telling a lot of stuff about how bad Don and Candace was and how evil they were to Don's mother. And she ends up passed away as well. And then Nana's Angels, which was going to come out and tell something. She was going to come out and tell something, but she didn't ever get to tell it because she didn't ever wake up after saying it. And then Allison ends up passed away, right? Then we got Allison, who ends up passed away exactly like Leslie did. And then we have this guy who comes up passed away as well. And Don's dad comes up passed away right after Candace and Donald went up there to be hanging with them. And Mary, Don's stepsister, comes out and tells us that Don's dad and mom was in the bed really, really sick. And her niece, who was there watching over these two older people, actually saw Don's sister putting something in the food, and after told Mary that she thought that Don's sister might be, doing some shady stuff to these old people, because she saw her putting stuff in their food and was told to mind her own damn business. And when Mary and them went there and told her they don't want her around their parents no more, and not to be coming there no more, Don's sister not to come there no more, Mary said Don's dad, that, passes away, and her mother wasn't confined in the bed no more. Actually, once Don's sister quit coming around, Mary said her mom's been able to get up and coherent again, and and almost back to normal. What was going on? What was going on to where these two people were getting so sick they couldn't get out of bed, and as a result, this man passes away. You know, Mary was basically saying, you know, I believe that Don's sister was, um, you know, illegally trying to do something evil to my mother and possibly, this old guy, because she was spending all their money and didn't want them to be catching on to it. Exactly. That's the word, Stephanie. But you got to be careful what you say up here. But that's yeah, exactly what she said. And then let's talk about the old man that disappeared that Candace supposedly was, caretaker of, and nobody knows where or who he was. And that ain't, the list don't stop with this old man either. Right there, Dee Dee. She and to my knowledge, I've gotten people have hit me up on Summer's Facebook, have hit me up and they said, PG, I gotta tell you something. I talked to this lady, this Dee Dee lady, and another person hit me up and said, hey, I heard through the grapevine by people who did talk to this lady, um, that Candace was being real mean to her, and she had told people Candace was being real cruel and mean to her about 3 or 4 weeks before she passed away. 3 to 4 weeks before she passed away. Um, she she was telling people she really didn't want Candace around her anymore. That Candace had been being, really mean and really, acting shitty. And she, she was really crying out for help, and nobody was giving it to her. Nobody was listening. She had the wrong friends. This woman had the wrong friends. And that's the truth. That's the truth. She just had the wrong damn friends, you know? But it all surrounds this baby's case. It all surrounds this little girl's case right here. And I'm going to tell you, this many people don't pass away. This many people don't pass away by coincidence. Not only that, but Nana's angel, that Nana's angel, um, right before she passed away, she was doing some stuff right here. There was two Rorys. There was two Rorys. Rory Simpson Cotton, and then another Roy, not a Simpson though. Nana's angel was really digging deep. She was digging deep, and she had found out something. She had found out something crucial that she was about to spill the beans on, and she came up on a lied ASAP. You think that's coincidence? Hell no. Hell no. That ain't no damn coincidence. And I'm going to tell you, somebody's been in recovery for 10 damn years. They're not going to be, they're not going to be ODing. Hell no. Because they, you know, they, they fought too hard to get where they're at, and they're going to stay where they're at. They're going to stay where they're at. That right there, um, was definitely foul play. That was some foul play. Somebody knew, somebody knew in her past. And that's why, I tell people, keep your personal business personal. Keep your private business private. Keep your medical issues private. Don't let people know. The less you let people know about you, the safer and better off you are. That, some things you just don't discuss. You don't discuss your health, and you don't discuss your finances. Your finances ain't nobody's business, and your health is nobody's damn business but yours and the doctor's. And I'm going to tell you, old folks knew that. Old folks knew that sick people would use your health and your finances as leverage. I want to tell you, you don't let people know your business. But that woman knew, this shit wasn't adding up. And she was digging really, really deep. And I think all of these people, you know, Jose came out, and then he's found unalived, and they found out where he was. Once they found out where he was gone. You know, that's what I'm talking about. This shit ain't coincidence. It ain't coincidence. This is a very evil, sick, dangerous case, you know, that we're dealing with here. A very sick. Not good. Not good at all. But also right before Nana's angels came up on a light.
Investigators were seeing what they could do, but they would like pictures of her having that jacket or that sweater.
It's the picture in the memory box. Yes.
Did you send say that there's pictures of her having that jacket or that sweater?
It's the picture of in the memory box. Yes.
The picture in the memory
I mean
box.
the jacket in the memory box. Yeah, the picture of it.
The picture of it in the memory box?
Yes.
Okay, is there any pictures that you can send to my phone? Because we called our private investigators, seeing what they could do, but they would like us. Okay, what does a memory box mean? Does that mean?
It's the box that somebody that tell Candace to hold up for a minute and I'll explain to you. Okay.
You want to talk to her? You want to talk to her? Talk to her. Here, I got my Bluetooth. I'm gonna give her my Bluetooth.
All right. Hey.
Now, did you hear Dawn before Candace? Listen to Dawn before Candace.
Pictures of her having that jacket or that sweater?
It's the picture of in the memory box. Yes.
Did you send me? You say that there's pictures of her having that jacket or that sweater?
It's the picture of in the memory box. Yes.
See, this is Nana talking to Dawn and Candace about the memory box, about, Kathy the friend. See, Donald saying that Kathy the friend has Summer's jacket, and she's got pictures of Summer's jacket. Now he's like, we need to turn this over to law enforcement. We need to turn this over to our PIs. What is, she's got pictures. But what messed it up is Nana kept saying, in the memory box, in the memory. And see, Candace knew that the cat's out of the bag. Candace knew that Kathy the friend had opened up, the box and found all the shit Candace and them were trying to hide. Dawn, being, a dumbass and, and into all this illegal substances and alcohol and going to jail and having to trying to figure out, where he's going to work and what he's going to do to make money. He's forgetting all, all the stuff from the past. And so, so he's like, oh, damn, what is she doing with the jacket that our daughter's supposed to go miss? Because that was their story, right? That was their story. Summer went missing in the outfit that she was wearing that day, jacket and all at the beginning. Then, because, Candace had a jacket, then law enforcement would want it for the search dogs. So they, they kept making it like she, they kept making it like she went missing in that whole outfit. And Candace was hiding this, the shirt and the jacket and all the clothes. And Dawn was too stupid to, because he, ain't keeping up with the story, to protect her asses. He ain't keeping up with the story. So he's standing there like, oh, she does, and he's like, oh, damn, how'd she get a hold of this, and okay, if she got a hold of it, we're going to bring it back on her and blame her for abducting our kid. When Candace is sitting there, the memory box, you dumbasses, we got after Summer went missing. The stuff was in it, and you ain't going to be able to bring it back on her. So, but Nana was, kept saying, she should have kept talking to Dawn. And when he said, you got pictures of her, the jacket, and she should have just said, yes. Leave the memory box out of it and just talk about the clothes. We probably would have gotten a lot more information, but we didn't. We didn't, because Candace was in the background trying to, as you've seen, you can hear Candace in the background trying to stop this dumbass from going any farther, because she's mentioning up the box, which was given after the fact of Summer disappearing, So listen again and you'll see what I'm talking about.
what they could do, but they would like pictures of her having that jacket or that sweater.
It's the picture in the memory box. Yes.
Did you send me? You say that there's pictures of her having that jacket or that sweater.
See, she should have said yes. Yes, Donald. Yes.
It's the picture in the memory box. Yes.
The picture in the memory.
I mean
box.
the jacket in the memory box. Yeah, the picture of it.
The picture of it in the memory box.
Yes.
See, Candace. You see, Candace once memory box is mentioned because Don is looking. Trust me, he's looking at Candace like, what the fuck, you know, because he's like, you know, what's going on here? You know, why is this woman got what got what we supposed to be hiding? And what Summer's supposed to disappeared in, you know, but she keeps saying box, and Candace is like, that's after Summer went missing, so, you know, you need to shut up, let me handle this, you know, and that's what's going on right now. These two Candace and Don Wells, these two motherfuckers working together. Trust me, they both got some shit on each other, and they working together.
Is there any pictures that you can send to my phone? Because we call our private investigators. They're seeing what they could do, but they would like us. Okay, what does a memory box mean? Does that mean?
It's the box that somebody that tell Candace to hold up for a minute, and I'll explain to you. Okay.
You want to talk to her? You want to talk to her? Talk to her. Here, I got my Bluetooth. I'm gonna give her my Bluetooth.
All right.
Yeah, he's going to give her the Bluetooth, right? He's going to give her the floor because his ass just wants to hide. Don's ready to hit the shed. He's ready to hit the shed. like, you know, I don't know what the hell's going on here, but I ain't going down for it.
Hey, Kathy told me it was the memory box that somebody that, you know, supported you guys, not, you know what I mean, supported you emotionally.
It's got the Paw Patrol on it and stuff like that.
Well, I don't know. I can't see the outside of the box. All you can see is Summer's name on the front of it.
Yeah, it's got a picture of, I think, Chase's burnt in the box and all that stuff, like Marshall and Paw Patrol books are all burnt into it.
Yeah, it's burnt into the wood, yeah.
And then I know she's also got the family picture that Robin made there too that's got my stuff and probably some other stuff that she took out of my stuff.
Well, when she sent.
See, look, see, she's trying to divert Nana away from the clothes. She, you know, she wanted to start talking about Robin and some pictures and stuff. Kathy, you know, she wanted to divert her away from the clothes, but Nana wants, you know, Nana's sticking straight to the topic, right? She's sticking straight to the damn topic. I gotta hand her that.
To me, that was before you and her were into it, and she has, from day one that I met her or I started talking to her, I always supported you, always.
Right.
But I had asked her, I had messaged her and asked her for some pictures that wasn't already out there to put on Summer's birthday video, and she sent me a few of the pictures, like a picture of the rock that you painted for Summer when y'all were camping.
Yeah, I remember that.
She told me about the little cross, you know, the little cross that's on the rock that you found.
Yeah.
And she had sent me just a picture of the memo or memory box, and it's open, it's showing hair bows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I want that so bad.
Well, she had told me that you had left it up there for safekeeping until Young's could find Summer.
No, that's not true at all.
Oh, that is true. That is true. She left it up there for safekeeping. And I'm going to tell you, from the pictures that some woman was putting out that lived there in Tennessee, talking about she was at this house, and they were doing some weird shit outside of this house with children, like some kind of ritual type stuff, some kind of, like freaking weird, you know, woo woo occult stuff. She said that they were, these men, all these men dressed in, in like these black long gown type things. And she said that, and then she said this woman was there and showed a picture, and that woman looked just like Kathy, the friend. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. She has this lady put it out, and everybody kind of dismissed it because, she was sounding crazy as hell, right? You're like, what? And you're looking at the photos, but it does look like that they're holding Summer up in the air. That they're holding Summer up in the air. These people in the robes are holding Summer up in the air. And it looked like that damn Kathy, the friend, happened to be there. And, I mean, her mask, her build, her hair, and put it this way, if it wasn't her, she's got a fucking twin, right? She's got a twin. And if it is her, then she knew Candace and Dawn and them before Summer went missing. So that possibly could be where the clothing was being hid from day one, right? That's possibly where the jacket, the shirt, and all the stuff had been being kept for safekeeping. And when Candace went to stay with her, Candace could have, at that time, put it all in that box and just, so she could have it contained to one thing and left it there. And then, Kathy, the friend, got mad at Candace because she went back to Dawn, and she took some pictures, handed them off to Nana. And it's hard telling what else Kathy, the friend, may have told Nana that Nana was searching into to make sure it was true. And then she ended up unalived. And it could be she ended up unalived because Kathy, the friend, lied to us, said she was going to take that box to law enforcement, and she didn't. Well, Kathy, the friend, could have possibly, because she kept it for Candace. So she had to have been in contact with Candace because she was holding on to the box for her. So what I'm thinking is she might have told Candace, what she had told Kathy, the friend, and that Kathy, the friend, may be searching into, or what she had told Nana, and what Nana was searching into that she possibly was going to bring out, because Kathy, the friend, was upset with Candace and told some stuff that she shouldn't have told. Sometimes people will tell, right? Sometimes people come to you and say, look, I shouldn't have told this, and this, but I did, and I know you're going to hear about it. And, and I'm worried. I know I shouldn't have did it, but, right? And that's possibility of what happened. And they, and they knew where this Nana was. I mean, she let people know everything. She let them know her name, where she's from. I mean, at one point I heard she was down there at Ben Hill Road, visiting up with Dawn and Candace and them. So if she was down there with some other people visiting up Ben Hill Road around these folks, they knew everything about her. They knew exactly, where to go get her if they wanted to. And it sounds like, possibly they did. I don't know. I find it very suspicious that, she's digging into this and she's talking to that Kathy. And this is right at the time when she's digging into all of these people. This is one of the last videos she did. And right here, this video and this video. And this video was the last one she did. the last one she did digging into this stuff. And I hate to say it, but I think that might be whatever she found out, because she said, put a one in the chat if you remember her saying, I found some stuff and I'm bringing it to the table. I'm bringing it out. You know, she said, I found, you guys ain't gonna believe it, but I found some stuff and I'm bringing it out. She didn't ever get to bring it out. She said she's bringing it, but nobody ever got to see it. Yeah. And she said it was big, like it was big something. She sure did. But I'm going to tell you, we ain't going to ever know because she didn't get to come out and say it, did she? But I bet them motherfuckers know. I bet that Kathy the friend knows. I bet you Kathy the friend knows what she was going to bring.
In my coat that I had. And I was wondering what happened to it, because I looked all over the house and I couldn't find it.
Well, so was Summer, because from the first time something was said about what she was wearing the day she went missing, it said a pink shirt and gray pants. So I assumed the jacket got took off of her, right?
The jacket was never on her when she went missing.
That's what I'm saying. She had it on in the truck and then she didn't have it on her when she got gone.
Right. She got too hot, so she took it off.
Oh, but before they were saying that that's the exact outfit she went missing in. That she had that whole outfit. It was her school outfit, and the whole thing was gone. Then, oh, she got too hot. She got too hot and took it off. How the hell she take it off? How the hell she take it off? She wasn't alive. Clearly, we could see that this child was unalived inside that damn vehicle. I mean, she's already turning the colors that, you know, deceased people turn. In my opinion, that's my opinion. So how in the hell did she take it? How the hell did she take it off? And I'm going to tell you, deceased people don't get hot. They get cold, right? They get cold. Yeah. And why was Candace hiding that jacket from law enforcement? Since Summer had it on, she had it on that very day. It would have definitely had her scent and definitely would have been able to follow the lead with that jacket. But no, they hide it. They hide it and get some dirty shit out of a basket, a tainted ass basket of clothes for the search dogs after they fucked up the first search dogs and delayed everything, having to bring in new ones. And then they give dirty shit instead of the fresh jacket or shirt or sundress or bathing suit that the little girl was wearing just hours before. Yeah, if you find that suspicious, put a one in the chat, because I find that very damn suspicious.
Well, anyways, that's what I was saying, because I made a video yesterday trying to figure out where the jacket was at, because they reported a pink shirt and gray pants, but they didn't say anything about the pink and gray jacket. So I was trying to figure out where that was at. And then when I was looking through, somebody had said something, and when I was looking through those pictures, that jacket is in that memory box.
Right. Sorry, I got a text message on my phone.
Oh, see, Nana's getting on her. Nana's getting on her.
I just want my stuff back. I don't care about whatever.
But yeah.
Do you hear, Candace? I gotta go, whatever. I gotta go, whatever. She just wants to stop the conversation. She just wants to stop this line of questioning, right? She wants it stopped. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. There was something she knew, something she was going to expose. And I'm going to tell you, whatever it was, whatever it was, must have been some super dangerous shit for these people. These, these people who, are trying to hide, whatever it is that can put them in prison, right? That are trying to hide the truth to this case. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, yeah. When at the beginning of this case, absolutely. At the beginning of this case, um, Candace and Dawn Wells was claiming that she was in that whole outfit when she went missing. They were claiming that the reason she was in the outfits because they went swimming, and after swimming, she was cold, and Candace, being a good mom, dried her up and changed her into an outfit, and so she could get in the vehicle and be warm, and all this bullshit. And then Hunter comes out and says, no, she's on a pillow leaning against the driver's side door soaking wet. She's the only one wet from swimming. So, Hunter let everybody know, no, Candace ain't a good mom. She didn't dress Summer in that outfit after we went swimming. I don't know where the hell that outfit came from because this kid's sitting on a pillow soaking wet leaning against the driver's side door. Nobody put her in anything, right? When I got home, I was shake, rattling, and rolling. I ran in the house, went to my bedroom, freaking the hell out, because of what went down at the swimming hole. And when they were cleaning Summer up and changing her in the outfit, I didn't know nothing about it because, like Don Wells in a shed, I was in my bedroom freaking the fuck out. Right. From the evil deed that Candace talked me into doing that I couldn't brag about because I realized hurting a 5-year-old little girl isn't fucking cool. Who the hell are you going to tell about that? That's something you're going to have to live with the rest of your damn life. Shut mouth. And that's exactly what happened, in my opinion. Just saying, my opinion, that's exactly what happened. But Kathy the friend may have told, some real being pissed off, like Jody Sue came out, and the way Jody Sue came out and told on Andy, right? You go ask him. Because she was scorned, right? She was scorned when he put that ring on another thing. She was scorned, and she said, you go ask him exactly what the hell he sold to Candace to sedate those little girls so they could be touched. I mean, damn, she done told all the involvement Andy was having in this stuff. Because she was scorned. Well, I think that's the same thing that happened, in the case of Kathy the friend and Candace. She was real pissed at Candace. She started talking to, Nana's Angels, and she started to run those jaws and telling some juicy shit and sending some juicy pictures, and and then Candace got a hold of her and kind of sucked back up to her, and she thought there's still some opportunity and chance there, and then she had to confess that, she got upset and she told some things she shouldn't have told, probably some deep, dark secrets. And next thing you know, Nana's going to bring all this stuff out. And she comes up on it live. How quaint is that? Right? Makes perfect sense. And Kathy, the friend, did think she had a chance because she gave Candace back that box. She even lied to all of us saying police had it when she had it the whole time waiting. Right? That's what I'm talking about. All right. Listen, you guys, PG's got to head out of here. It's getting late, and it's not the weekend yet. We're not even close. You know, tomorrow's freaking hump day, but we still got a couple of days even after that before Friday. So I got to make the best of it, and I got to wake up early along with all of you, right? We all got things to do. So I'm going to head out, and before I do, as I always ask, please keep the prayers going up for Summer Moon Utah Wells. Keep the prayers going up for this little girl. I'd like to spend more time talk about this. This is a very interesting topic, right? Very interesting. But you know what? God willing, we'll be back tomorrow night. We could pick up where we left off with this and investigate it a little bit further, right? Investigate it some more. I think it's worth looking into. What did all these people have to tell? What did all these people have to tell that someone wasn't wanting told? What did they have to tell that people, that certain humans was not wanting told? That's what we need to focus on. And that's what we're going to do. So we'll be back, as I said, God willing, we'll be back to discuss more tomorrow night. But keep the prayers going up. Keep them going up for this little girl. This far into everything, we definitely need God. We need God's help to get this one done. So keep those prayers going up, you guys. Keep them going up for Michael, for Sebastian, for Jack and Lily, for little Emmanuel. Keep them going up for all these kids, and pray that no more end up like this. In the name of Jesus, amen. And keep praying for one another. Family that prays together stays together, and we are a family. We are a family, you guys, and I thank God for putting us all together. So keep them prayers going up. And if you have a little extra time, please pray for me and mine as well. I don't like to tell a lot of what goes on in my life, but I sure could use some prayers if you guys don't mind. And know that PG's praying for you as well. God bless you all. Good night.